I am first warning meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week in the mornings, chat about what's going on in the world of weather, hopefully get your day started off on the right note, and of course, hopefully bring a smile to your face. It's a little gray this morning, I'm not going to lie. We do have sunshine in the forecast, but let me tell you something. Our weather scenario these next couple of days is going to be one of the goofier weather scenarios I may have ever tracked in Central Florida. I mean, I've seen this before, but this is one of those goofy ones where you kind of get a little of this, a little of that, and then you get all of it at once. What? What's this guy talking about? We'll get to it. First, it's a lovely start to the day. The top two things that we are monitoring, of course, the severe weather threat moving our direction tomorrow. As we speak, my sister station, WAPT in Jackson, Mississippi, on the air, wall-to-wall, tracking tornado warnings for some of their areas, and that line is moving our direction. So we'll chat about it, about what it could look like when it gets into our neighborhood. And then, it is going to get cold and then wet. Huh? That's not normal for Central Florida. Yeah, it doesn't happen all the time, but here we are. So let's chat about things first and foremost. Outside this morning, it's a gray sky. This is a look at our tower cam network. This particular vantage point is our first warning live Doppler radar tower. So we're kind of looking over toward the Winter Park area. Yeah, lots of clouds. It's comfortable. It is very comfortable temperature-wise. 66 in Orlando. We're at 68 in Leesburg, 65 degrees in the Villages, and about 62 in Ocala. So it looks good. Visibility, not a concern, not really watching any fog, but our first warning live Doppler radar tracking showers. Let me put this into motion. No yellows or oranges or reds, so we're not talking about anything severe, but our radar, quite cohesive as it is, picking up on some showers. So let's start in Brevard County, where it was just rain. I feel like the entire day yesterday, you were just getting rain, rain, rain. And there are continuing to be a few showers working up toward Cocoa Beach, Port Canaveral, the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. A little bit of rain may try to skirt into Merritt Island. I think it should stay off to the east of you, though, so at least there's that. That's good. Let's head further to the north, see what's doing up into the kind of Volusia, Brevard, Orange, Seminole County border. A couple of showers up by you. The focus for now is turning more into a Volusia event. New Smyrna Beach, up through about Dunlawton, Nova Road, watching these they're light, but they're there. And then from about Dunlawton northbound up to ISB, we're watching these showers there into Daytona Beach. You can kind of see it working from the shores up Peninsula, getting into Daytona Beach, Holly Hill, Ormond Beach, getting up toward Flagler County. We'll be watching those showers. So overall, it's not bad. We do have the showers this morning. Notice, though, these showers are going to be thinning little by little by little through the day. We're going to be getting that magical shape in the sky. The sun will be shining, and that's going to help temperatures to climb a bit warmer. Yesterday, we got to about 77 degrees. Today, I think we'll do about 81 degrees. That south wind is going to help to kind of push all of this garbage away, which is why the rain axis is moving from Brevard yesterday to Volusia now, and then eventually we'll lift out of our area. So not too bad. Not too bad at all. Good morning to you. I apologize. I've been talking and talking and talking. I haven't gotten a chance to say good morning to you. Fran Hayes, good morning to you. Don, good morning. Tina, Valerie, David, good morning, everybody. Linda, how are ya? Dana says, I like getting some cold. I just don't like cold and wet. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that, and I would agree. I'm not a fan of it myself. Tina, good morning to you. Jamie Lopez over on YouTube, good morning, good morning. Kenneth, top of the morning to you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Marie, howdy, howdy. If I haven't said good morning to you all yet, I apologize. Chris Pierce, good morning. Miss Kelly, good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Oliver, can you speak about Sunday a bit? Wreaths Across America is holding wreath laying at the cemeteries. Should we bring an umbrella? So we'll go in depth in that in a second, but I would just off the cuff say if you're out early, you'll want an umbrella. But through the day, things will look better and better and better, Oliver. But we'll look at all the model data because it's not set in stone yet. So I want to make sure you know. But I don't want to just dive into that. I want to kind of go chronologically through time because there's a lot that's going to be happening. But genuinely, the morning looks to be wet, and then later through the day, Sunday looks to be better and better. So depending on your time, my friend. Yeah. All right. We're supposed to be leaving on a cruise Saturday evening. Well, there may be some showers. There may be some showers Saturday. There will be some showers Saturday evening. Yeah, really interesting little weather player. All right, so let's start off with today. Upper 70s, lower 80s. It does look nice. Here's Futurecast. Let's just rush through today just to kind of get to the bigger weather stories. By lunchtime, you can see it's actually turning sunny. The showers shifting off the shoreline. And by 2:30, 3, 4 o'clock, that's not bad. That's not a bad setup at all. Yeah. It does look like a lovely forecast. So that's where we're at least in terms of the overall setup for today. All right. Sedite, we good? We good with that? Let me pull up, if I can find it, the SATRAD, the wider perspective, because there is an active weather pattern. I kind of mentioned it off the top of the broadcast, but let's dive a little more in depth to it, okay? So here's the Southeast Satellite and Radar Composite, okay? And that's a messy scenario. Right now, you've got severe weather impacting parts of Texas, Louisiana, back over to Mississippi, now getting into Alabama. The good news is we are not hearing of any kind of massive damage, but the bad news is that there is report of injuries and fatalities in Louisiana. And as a meteorologist, that is everything we work against. We work our hours, and Coffee Talk was essentially born in the idea of let's try, please, to get as much information out as we can. And we do this every day, but this was born on that idea of information when the weather is going to be impactful. So my prayers go to those impacted. The Today Show reported this morning, and it broke my heart, that it was a mother and a child found together, fatally injured. Yeah, horrible. At this hour, here's a look at the radar loop, and you can see there are 3 tornado warnings posted, 1 for Louisiana, 2 for Mississippi. Tornado warning, of course, means that a tornado is happening. Either we see it on radar or we actually see it on the horizon. We've gotten reports of it. So that's the weather scenario now. This overall weather pattern is going to be moving into our area. The good news for us is that by the time it gets to Central Florida, it is anticipated to be a bit weaker. Here's a look at the severe threat for Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, the Florida Panhandle. Notice the severe risk today, tonight, and tomorrow morning runs up to a level 3, meaning along this line there are numerous damaging showers and thunder showers. Okay, we get this data from the Storm Prediction Center. They issue it to discuss kind of the overall threats. Okay, so that's today. Let's look at tomorrow. Okay, for tomorrow there is no level 3 risk. It is a level 2 risk for strong to severe storms, but it does include much of Central Florida. Brevard County, east of the metro, essentially, we're looking at a level 1 risk. Isolated, 1 or 2 may get feisty. But the areas highlighted in yellow indicate scattered or several strong to severe storms, okay? So the risk for severe weather, thankfully for us, tomorrow, is lower than it is for Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, the Florida Panhandle. But it's still a severe risk. So please keep weather aware. If there's one kind of point of reference, please keep weather aware. Please. Okay? So here's that storm system. It's approaching us, looking ahead to Thursday. Showers, thunder showers. Some of those could get feisty, but afterward, we get cooler, drier air diving in. And then this is where it gets to be messy, because Friday is looking absolutely excellent. That front will be south of us, high pressure built in, comfortable afternoon, falling temperatures through the day. Then watch the Gulf of Mexico. We start to watch this messy weather developing out in the Gulf. And Saturday afternoon, evening, that's when that messy weather starts to move our direction. So let's kind of try and just look at the model data as it is. So here we are. This is Friday afternoon, and we very clearly, I'll bring it full screen, we very clearly see both the American model and the European model show the front south of us. Okay, giddy up. Love that. Love that for us. Then we start to see the models getting into Saturday, bringing that massive rain our direction. The European is a little quicker, bringing it into the afternoon, whereas the American GFS brings it in kind of overnight. But either way, you're looking at a Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening rain event. And may I add to the fact that as these storm systems cross over us, it's going to be chilly. Not snow chilly, but chilly. So I'm going to tell you right now, this weekend, there's going to be some parts of it that are getting sick weather. You know, where it's cold and rainy. We're not used to that. Going through time, and there's Sunday morning. That's 7 a.m. Sunday morning. Both models have showers still around us, though the Euro clears it out a little bit earlier. And then through the day Sunday, that rain will all be moving out. Okay? So, let me tell you, we have such an interesting weather scenario these next couple of days. Seriously. It's going to be a messy 7-day forecast. So let's look at the 7-day forecast, and then we can, of course, dive in deeper. I just wanted to kind of illustrate this point, okay? So for today, morning clouds, morning showers, temperatures getting better. 81 degrees our high temperature. Tonight, down to 66, great. Tomorrow morning, not bad. Through the afternoon, we'll get showers and thunder showers, some of which are going to be strong. Okay? That's why that icon is there, that little exclamation point triangle. That's to let you know. That's what we call an impact day. It's to let you know there's going to be some nasty weather. Friday, nice. We'll be at like 70, but temperatures are essentially going to be falling like through the day. Saturday, especially Saturday afternoon, no bueno. Mucho no bueno. I don't know that I said that right, but it's just not looking good. Right? Saturday afternoon, evening, overnight, getting sick weather. Then it looks like through the day Sunday, the models are kind of agreeing that little by little things will be getting better. And then Monday, not bad. Tuesday, another storm system moves in. And then, don't look now, but we've got, and we showed this yesterday on our afternoon coffee talk. If you missed it, we're going to look at that data again here in a minute. The GFS is insane when it comes to Christmas, or at least it was yesterday. I have not looked at it I've been in dad mode, so forgive me. I have not looked at this morning's GFS, but yeah. All right, so that's the 7-day at a scan. We'll go much more in depth. I'm going to go more in depth in severe weather next. Then we can go more in depth on our kind of timing of the rain and this weekend, and then we'll go into Christmas. So I promise you we've still got a lot coming up here on Coffee Talk, but I do want to get to some of your questions, your comments, and concerns before we go much deeper. Debbie, good morning to you. Excited that there are too many people to say good morning to. Look at us trying to keep up with all the hellos. I love it. I love it. Little family we've got. Very gray in Daytona, Annie says. It's true. It's true. Yeah. So sad to hear when people die from storms, Becca points out. It's true. I mean, honestly, I wanted to study weather because I was afraid of it, but I wanted to go into television because I was afraid of it. And I wanted to make sure to be that voice of calm when the weather is awful, and to try and help people however I can. And so to hear that people lost their lives hurts. It hurts, especially in this season, right? But anytime that's the case, it's just awful. It's just awful. So Gosh, it's just awful. And I'm looking. I've got on the TV here. I've got our sister station WAPT, and they're tracking. I'm watching them in tornado coverage right now, and I see the little tube. You know, with a what would be a tornado indicated on radar. So it's still going at this hour. Yeah. All right, let's see here. Questions, comments, concerns. Brian says, morning, y'all. Figures all this nice weather we've had, and tomorrow I have to haul a trailer to Miami and bring a race car back. Hopefully it won't be too bad. Get an early start, Brian. It's going to get nasty into the afternoon, buddy. All right. Mickey, or is this a new cycle that needs to be watched? Yeah, the long-range stuff. We'll talk long-range stuff when the weather's quieter. I don't want to focus on any long-range stuff when there's actual stuff to track. That's kind of more of a when the weather's quiet, we can get to it and do the long-range stuff. But yes, this is all cycling. Yep. Those storms can stay on Saturday. Sunday has to be nice. Taylor, I'm working on it, love. I'm working on it. All right. All right. So it looks like we're all good. We're all good. Questions, comments, concerns. Mike, Brevard County, when do we anticipate rain on Saturday? We have a big event from 11 to 5. It looks like for you, Mike, I would say probably toward the end of the event you may start to get some rain. But that's based on current guidance. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. All right. All right, so that's where we're at. Let's dive a little deeper into the severe threat for tomorrow, okay? As I illustrated, we've got the level 2 risk of strong to severe storm. So it's technically called a slight risk on the Storm Prediction Center, but we've gone to our own kind of verbiage just to try and communicate that better. But here's where we're at. For tomorrow morning, we're quiet, but we'll start to see Marion, Flagler counties with that threat for strong to severe storms. And I'll run Futurecast for tomorrow here in just a couple of moments' time so that you can get an idea what it's saying, okay? Then into the afternoon, I-4, strong to severe storms are marching through. And then into the early evening, Osceola, Brevard, our southern spots are starting to clear out. All right, so that's for tomorrow. And if you say to yourself, well, but it's December. The folks in the other states get severe weather. That's not a thing for us. Menalfi went back and did some digging. These are decent tornado events in Central Florida during the month of December. Edgewater on December 10th of 2012 had a tornado move through. I remember the Christmas Day tornado of 2006. I had just taken a job in South Florida, and I remember tracking that line of severe weather. And then back in 1997, St. Cloud and Lake Toho had a tornado. So suffice it to say, while we're anticipating our threat for tornadoes to be relatively low tomorrow, there's still that threat. Okay, so there's still that threat to watch. All right, so let me do this. Stand by. So this is kind of the threat breakdown for tomorrow's severe weather, okay? The biggest concern for us is going to be the damaging winds. Scattered storms with that threat for damaging winds. Do notice the threat for tornadoes is a notch lower. There's an isolated tornado threat. The dynamics do not look to be in play for us for hail for tomorrow, but I do think damaging winds would be my biggest concern, and that's just a severe thunderstorm that kind of pulses up and just puts out a quick 60-mile-per-hour wind gust. All right? More than likely, we'll see some severe thunderstorm warnings. Then there's an isolated tornado threat. I don't know that it would be as powerful as what our friends up north and west of us are dealing with, thankfully for us. Right? But it's still a threat. So it's still something we're going to need to watch, okay? So let's do this. Let's run our Futurecast model, okay? And just kind of take you through time. And through today, we can kind of see those showers clearing out. Not bad. 4, 5, 6 o'clock, right? Let's go right to tomorrow morning. All right. Tomorrow's morning commute looks fine. There's 6:30 in the morning. We are fine. All right. Let's roll through time here, though. Notice 7, 8, 9 o'clock. Futurecast already showing. So by tomorrow morning's coffee talk, more than likely, we're going to be tracking a line of storms just outside of the West 2 coverage area but starting to move in, okay? 9, 10, 11 o'clock, we're watching those storms in our northern areas. 11, 12, 1 o'clock, getting into the metro area by about 2, 3 o'clock into the metro area. And I do also want to point out by 5, 5:30, it's into our southern spots. But let me just back this up just to show you. I mean, this is the line of storms into our metro. Yesterday's Futurecast was a broken line of showers. It was not showing anything all that intense. Late last night into early this morning, that trend started to change, and Futurecast started to pulse up the activity. So when we were talking yesterday, I wasn't convinced that it was going to hold together, but the models are starting to agree. All right, the models are starting to agree that there's going to be something going on here. All right, so it's definitely something interesting. It's definitely something interesting for us to watch. We'll just need to be weather aware. All right, we'll just need to be weather aware. As long as we can do that together, we're good to go. All right. Now, any questions, comments, concerns? Want to make sure we're prepared. Tomorrow being an impact weather day, we will be staffing the weather center, making sure to be able to cut in as is needed. Okay. If you can get a laugh out of this. I'm off tomorrow. I'm curious if I'm going to stay off. Right? I'm curious. Will that continue? We'll see. All right, let's look at rotation on our Futurecast model. Through today, obviously that's not a concern. All right, so here we go into tomorrow, and we're starting to see some brighter shades. There's 11 o'clock. It's weak rotation, but you can see that the helicity is there, that the activity is there. So it's on the lower spectrum, but there is the opportunity to get a little bit. So through the early afternoon, yeah, it's weak rotation, but there is rotation showing up on our Futurecast computer model data. So it shall be interesting. All right. Mickey, can we see the rotation tracker on Futurecast? Oh, man. We're on the same page. What happens to the 40s that we're supposed to have Friday and Saturday? So what's ending up happening is we're kind of getting more moisture showing up, and so that's kind of putting a blanket of cloud cover over top of us, and that blanket of cloud cover thus is acting as a blanket. It's insulating us, so we're not able to get that much in terms of radiational cooling. It keeps us milder, essentially. Yeah. Janet, flying at the end of the month, are we going to get better? Yeah. So, that's where we're at for Thursday. Then let's look ahead to Saturday, because this is where it's just very, very interesting, okay? So there's that line coming in Thursday. Let's run Futurecast. There's Friday. All right. I'll run this as slow as I can. So watch how Saturday, during morning, we're going to start to pulse up rain out in the Gulf of Mexico. And then into the afternoon, we're going to start to see that rain overrunning our area, right? 3, 6, 8 overnight, and then clearing out, thankfully, by Sunday. So it looks like if it's going to be an event that'll impact you, it's going to be your Saturday afternoon plans. That's what we're looking at, starting from west to east. All right, that's kind of where we're at in terms of the timing. So for your Saturday plans, I would say Saturday morning's good, Saturday afternoon's questionable, Saturday evening, no bueno. Overnight, no bueno. Sunday morning, a few showers, not bad, but later in the day, more and more, it looks better and better and better, okay? So that's where that's at. Any questions? Otherwise, we need to go and start looking some long-range stuff. I want to make everybody laugh if I can. While I'm asking about your questions, let me dial up the GFS temperatures. Y'all want a good laugh? Minimum. All right, that's there. Minimum temperatures. I'm just dialing this up to look at Christmas. Oh, God, you are insane. Actually, you're not as bad as you were. All right, so yesterday when we were talking on Coffee Talk, let me just do this. I'm going back to find, okay, perfect. So yesterday when we did our afternoon Coffee Talk, these were the temperatures that the GFS was showing for Christmas morning. That's Christmas morning on the American GFS yesterday. 20s and 30s. All right? That's 3 runs ago. 2 runs ago, it was 20s and 30s, but a little milder. 1 run ago, 20s and 30s, but a little milder. Current run. Still chilly, but not insane. This is the GFS, Christmas morning, low temperatures, 30s and 40s. Now, I'll take that, but it's a far cry from the 20s and 30s that it was showing yesterday. So the GFS, and once we get through this little storm system, then we can really look ahead to Christmas. For right now, we can kind of glance at it, but we're not going to spend too much time on it because there's just too much going on in the short term. But yeah, that's Christmas morning according to the current run of the GFS. Christmas afternoon, give me a second. That's Christmas afternoon, according to the GFS, which would be high temperatures in the 40s and 50s. So the GFS model going awful cold for Christmas. Going awful cold for Christmas. Very interesting. Very interesting. All right. Any other questions? Jessica, I do. He's not my twin, but he is my brother. Dave Schreier, good morning. Forecast for the bowl game in Annapolis. Yes, we will. I have not prepared that yet, but I will. Let me get through tomorrow's severe weather event first. I will get there, I promise you. You know I will. Go Knights, charge on. You know. Brian's asking a long question. Whoo. Eric, I tried to ask you this the other day, but you didn't have time because you had to do TV that morning. Maybe you could answer it now. Here is the question. How does, how active or how strong either an El Nino or La Nina year during hurricane season also determine how cold that same year's winter will be? If so, how and why? So the broad scope of that is El Nino or La Nina, whatever is active, does kind of give you this global shifting, an idea. It impacts hurricane season. It impacts winter. Sometimes there's a tweak around or something. But yeah, it does, but it's moreover, it's just global impacts from season to season. No, I'm not wearing a lapel mic. I have a better microphone inside, but my computer there's locked out and I have to get onto it. So I'll get there eventually. So no, you're just listening to me on my laptop microphone. So if it sounds terrible, my apologies. Yeah, the model sobered up a little bit. It started drinking coffee with the rest of us. What was it doing? Last night, its model data was showing the highest pressure that, if played out, would have been the highest pressure ever recorded in the United States. Yeesh. Saw the GFS showing multiple storm systems in the Gulf heading our way. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're definitely entering into an active weather pattern. Definitely an active weather pattern. Yeah. Michelle says, I'm looking forward to the colder weather. I am too. I mean, I like it. You know. Everybody's asking about a white Christmas, y'all. Those may be chilly temperatures, but if we look at the moisture, there's no moisture. There's no moisture over top of us. So it's not going to be a white Christmas. Orlando has never registered any flurries whatsoever on Christmas Day. Yeah. All right. Sound good? Sound good. All right, people. It's 8:31. I'm in for Manifoli today, which means that we will see each other at 3:30 today for an afternoon coffee talk. I will be on WESH 2 News at 5, 5:30, 6, 10, 11. We'll also do an evening coffee talk. Does that sound good? We'll do a little Facebook Live action. 9 o'clock work for y'all? Call it whatever you want. If you want to call it coffee talk, if you want to call it, name it whatever you want. I only do it when I'm working for him, so that's all you get. Allison says, darn, would have been nice to see palms with snow on them. I don't want my palms. You see my palm over my shoulder? I don't want that puppy to die. Oh, man. All right, people. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. I will see you guys and gals at 3:30 here. I'll be tweeting through the day. Don't you worry about that. All right? Keeping you updated on the threat of strong to severe storms. And, of course, Kellyanne Class live as we speak over on CW18 on until 10. Tiffany says wine at 9. You want to do wine at 9? I'll call it Coffee Talk because I'm going to be drinking coffee trying to stay awake. But have your wine at 9 with me. Sound good? Sound good. All right.